What's the first 2 or 3 things that come to mind as far as individual skill improvement with specific guys where they're appreciably better at something than they were previously?
Well, the first thing jumps out in the back end. Obviously, we've had some great challenges the last couple of weeks. I think Mike Rump in the corner room has done a great job. The play, of course, Michael Jackson, what Malik Young did to those guys like Trajan Bandy, hopping in there and taking their slot receiver away from them. So that really stands out. I think in all levels, I think guys are understanding what to do more. I think they're becoming more confident in what their techniques are out there, and now it's just the key as a coach is you just say, okay, now you got that, let's get this, and let's always find the next way that we can all improve ourselves.
As far as individual guys, correct that your 2 defensive tackles, you think better as pass rushers?
They certainly have been much better versus the past this year, and that's been telling. In a game like last week, for example, where we couldn't sub, they go so fast that you can't get a third down type package on. So you got to rush with your defensive tackles instead of putting some more ends or more speed on the field. And those guys, they held their own out there.
Manny, there were so many questions about the guys in the back. Do you feel like maybe they came in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and said, everybody's talking about how great this front is. Let's show that even though we're young, even though we're inexperienced, we can make plays too. Did you see that?
I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, they hear it. And especially early on, where we were kind of finding our way back there, and obviously we're not a finished product, but we tell them there is a standard that we play with here. And if you take the field with a U on the side of your helmet, it is your responsibility to uphold your standard. And no one cares. We tell them, no one cares that you're a freshman, and no one cares. We don't get any sympathy that they're not going to make it 1st and 11 because you're a first-year starter. I mean, you go out there, you have to play, which is really the same attitude we had last year with the young linebackers and Malik and Joe and the young kids we had to play with a year ago.
Manny, what has Jaquan Johnson got brought at the back? And then how is he playing now?
Jaquan has been unbelievable the last 3 games. And a guy that absolutely does not get the credit he deserves. The number one thing is safety has to be, they have to be the eraser. And anytime we create a problem, he's got to bring his big jar of white out and he's got to erase it. And then that's what he's done up to this point. Against Syracuse, we deepened him because to really help him be a sideline-to-sideline guy on all the shots that they throw. And sure enough, he covers down and makes a sliding interception, a big-time play. But his tackling in the alley, Florida State game, Georgia Tech game, and Syracuse game the last 3 weeks has been phenomenal.
You all obviously at times have been very good against the run, but at other times you haven't been. Are you close to being as dominant a run-stopping team as you want? And when things break down, has it been more gap integrity? Has it been individual matchups where the guy's just been beaten? Has it been linebackers? What's it been?
Probably a little bit of all the above. Certainly in the Syracuse game, because the quarterback was a run threat, okay? If everybody just stays, if you just play, in essence, everyone in gap control, when the quarterback runs the ball, they have one more blocker than we do have guys to block them. That's just the math. In fact, the third down that they converted out of their goal line is basically what they did. They ran a quarterback lead. So you have to do some things up front with movement to try to occupy an extra gap, make the quarterback stop his feet. So there was that constant threat of last game of trying to limit the quarterback running game, because that guy obviously was pretty impressive. But then when you do that, when they start running some more traditional run plays, you have loosened up your gap integrity a little bit. It makes it a little bit harder on the linebackers. So that's a part of it. In terms of what the overall plan to defeat Syracuse, I think we still picked the better option. And that, every week, what I have to do is I have to maneuver the stress of the defense. Okay, I say we can. If I want to put help on this side of the defense, something's going to have a stress on the other side. So sometimes, hey, this week is a different challenge. We may have to move stress to a different position group. So I think the kids understand that. We still don't like seeing the run spit out there like they did, and our guys understand that. And we'll see a big challenge. This team can run the football. They're going to run the ball right at us, and we've got to hold up this weekend to get it stopped.
Maybe 6 games in now, are there some situations where you have grown more comfortable, either by players, the way they've been playing, or evaluation that you're able to do more with them within the defense, that you've kind of seen more?
You always find as you get into the year, you always find out kind of who you are. And we're far enough in now. I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're about. We can play man coverage. We in some ways we play it better than we played it a year ago. So we've done a nice job of denying. Our yards per attempt numbers are excellent, and so we're doing a good job. I think the guys have confidence doing that. So I always say you have the different ways you can set yourself up coverage-wise. And this week we may have to do more of that. Next week we have to do more of that. But I think our kids are getting confidence, and I think as coaches, what you do well, and then can kind of play to that card better.
It seemed like Derek Smith's snaps went up. Who else have you either increased snaps or has earned more snaps.
Yeah, Derek played more and did a nice job when he was in there. Amari Carter, we thought looked good in the game last week and felt like, wasn't out of place out there and played physical. Javonte Dean is starting to get it, like what we said he would. I told you the last 6 games of the year, I think he'd be a different guy. Made some nice plays today in practice. Obviously Trajan played a lot more, so we knew we had some guys in the back end that would be coming along. And when we get into more traditional offenses, where you're not, it's not Georgia Tech and you're not kind of breaking all the rules. Hopefully you'll see even more guys show up.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.